Hey there, Taylor Ellwood here, and today I thought I would discuss the moral dilemma of zombies. In writing the Zombie Apocalypse Call Center series, one of the things that I've really thought about throughout the series is how do you show the moral dilemma of zombies? And what is even the moral dilemma of zombies? Because if you look at most movies and things like that, you really don't see that moral dilemma really explored in any depth. So for me, the moral dilemma of zombies is when zombies are basically, when something is turned into a zombie for whatever reason, does the person that used to be the zombie, is that person there at all, or are they completely gone? And I think about this like, for example, using The Last of Us as a good example of this. In The Last of Us, when people get infected by the spores, at least initially, they're still there. They're able to talk, everything else. They can feel the spores taking over. But at a certain point, the spores take over, and their brain is hijacked, and they become mushroom people. But are they there at all still? Is there some semblance of them left? This is the question that I think about. And it's the same thing with any zombie movies that I watch. Like in Warm Bodies, you do see that, in fact, there is someone still there. Kind of, sort of. And they gradually find their way back. And in Shaun of the Dead, you kind of sort of see that as well. But like in Zombieland, you don't see that. I mean, they just become zombies and they've got to be shot. They're just cannibals, basically. And so in my series, one of the things that I did is the main character Sam feels this conflict around killing the zombies, especially because again, when they're initially turning, they are still able to talk, and they're still somewhat there. And then the virus takes over, and then maybe they're not there, but maybe they still are. And for him, the question at the back of his head is, if they're still there, what do I do? Because if I'm killing these people, there's no way that they'll ever be cured. But if there's a cure for them, then by killing them, I'm truly killing them. Like, I'm not giving them a chance. And how do I feel about that? Of course, add on to that the wrinkle of he has to survive, and if there is a cure, he's got to do whatever it takes to find that cure, and that includes killing zombies. But he doesn't feel good about it. I mean, that's kind of the whole premise of it. In one sense, is that he doesn't feel good about killing the zombies. Like some of the characters are like, yeah, I can't wait to kick the zombie butt, and that's not Sam's thing. He doesn't feel that way, and he doesn't have the practicality of Michelle, where she's kind of like, okay, if I gotta kill him, I gotta kill him, and I just can't think about that. It just is what it is. Instead he's got this real moral conflict, and it's something that I try to explore throughout the series to some degree or another with the different characters, even if it's just like in Michelle's case, when it's the secret missions where she's the main character. I mean, she's at least thinking about what Sam would think about her actions and her behavior and how that would matter to him. And so it's I think it's important when we look at our fiction that we don't just replicate the usual tropes, instead that we're willing to explore something different with our fiction. And in my case, the way I like to explore that is to take something like the moral dilemma of killing zombies and say, okay, well, what happens if I kill a zombie? Am I really killing the person? Is the person already gone? How do I know? And these are the kinds of questions I think that can be fun to explore, and can give you a new angle on fiction. Of course, it's fun to write a thing about a zombie apocalypse, but if we add in some of those, something like the moral dilemma of killing a zombie to it, it brings a new wrinkle into it, and it gets us to explore that question carefully and our own thoughts. I mean, hopefully we never have to deal with a zombie apocalypse in real life, but what really happens? Is the zombie still there? Or should I say, is the person still there in the zombie, or is the person just a complete zombie and there's nothing left? I don't have any definite answers on that in real life, but at least in fiction, I do. And in my fiction, at least, the zombie there's still something of the human inside the zombie. All right, thanks for watching, and just wanted to share that little tidbit with you, and see you next week.